Benvenuto, welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to make chicken marsala, or my version of it anyway. Chicken marsala is a classic Italian-American dish. It's actually very easy to make, quick, simple, using a few techniques. You may have seen it in a restaurant, or maybe you've ordered it in a restaurant, and it comes in this big, beautiful piece of chicken with wine and mushrooms, and it looks really complicated, but it's really very, very easy to make. Okay, so what you need for it, of course, is your two main ingredients are chicken. All right, this recipe will do 4 to 6. I got 4 large chicken breasts. I've already pounded these ones out. We'll pound out one more for you. Again, sometimes if you get in a restaurant, it's this big, huge piece of chicken, and generally what they do is take a chicken breast, cut it in half, and then pound it out really thin. When I make it at home, I like it to be a little bit thicker, so we're going to pound it out to about a ½ inch. Maybe if you've got it in a restaurant, it's probably about a ¼ inch. All right, so then you need some cremini mushrooms. We need some heavy cream. We're going to need some chicken stock or chicken broth. We talked about the wine, or did we talk about the wine? No, we need Marsala wine. Okay, so Marsala wine is an Italian wine, and it's a red wine and brandy. It's a mixture of the two. It comes in a dry and sweet. Don't have to worry about whether you get the dry or sweet. Typically, in desserts, you use the sweet version. In savory food, you use the dry. I really can't tell the difference between the two of them. And again, with all, anytime you use wine in cooking, it doesn't have to be the most expensive, but you want it to be one that you'd also enjoy drinking. We need some, we're going to need some butter for our chicken and our sauce, and some good olive oil. And we're going to dredge our chicken in some flour. And of course, we need some salt and pepper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my salt and pepper in there right now. Put the cover on it. Well, give it a little shake, let it get all mixed up. All right, we'll get to that in a moment. All right, so as far as our chicken is concerned, all right, so let's go back to the mushrooms for a minute. I think in the recipe I said you quarter your mushrooms. You can do them any way you want. I actually ended up slicing these ones, so you just want to slice them. All right, let's throw those in with the rest of them. Then you're going to need about 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, and you're going to want to mince that pretty well. You've all seen me mince garlic many times. You want to start to cut it up a little like that. Oop, you don't need that piece of skin. My garlic cloves were a little small, so I ended up doing 3. Anyway, so I'm going to slice it up. And then you're slowly going to just chop it up as fine as you can. No need for you to watch that, me do that. It takes too much time. Again, just want to get it into little pieces. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right, so let's bang out our last piece of chicken. So we've got our chicken between a piece of saran wrap, all right? And remember, so you've got your thinner end on there, so I usually start on the fatter end. Like I said, we've done this before. And if you don't have a meat tenderizer, you can use a can, you can use a rolling pin, whatever you've got, something that's going to take a little bit of pounding. All right, so like I said, I'm not going to pound this out too thin, maybe to about a ½ inch. So you want to start on the thicker end and kind of work down to the thinner end. And again, you're not breaking through a wall, so you don't want to turn it to shreds. So you don't want to pound it too hard. All right, that should be about good. So you can see that is, about pretty consistent, about a ½ inch in thickness. I don't know if you can see that. All right. So, and of course, you want to try to get it about the even thickness down your chicken so that it cooks all at the same time. Okay, let's get cooking and we'll come back and get everything in the pot. Okay, before, of course, we get our chicken in our pan, we need to coat it with flour. So I wanted to show you guys that. Again, we've done this before, but so you want to just kind of get your chicken in there. Now, we do want it to have a good coating of flour because this is going to help thicken our sauce. We're not going to bread this, or we don't need a liquid dredge on it. But again, you want to get it kind of well coated. Get it in there, push it down. All right, and then I put it on another plate. And I'll get the other 3 done, and I'll meet you over at the stove. Okay, guys, so we've got our chicken all nicely dredged in the flour. We got a 12-inch saute pan here, tall edge one, because you're going to make your sauce in this as well. I've got it on medium, so we're going to use about a tablespoon or so of, again, some good olive oil. Get that in your pan, and then I'm going to just let that heat up for a minute. Now, typically, if you had this in a restaurant, it'd probably be served with angel hair pasta, which we're going to have with it tonight. But it's delicious served with rice or mashed potatoes, or of course, one of my favorite foods in the world is anything pasta. So we're going to have some angel hair pasta with it. All right, so we'll just let that heat up a little bit. Then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of our total 4 tablespoons of butter that we're going to use in the recipe. Oh, and also, yeah, as these cook, you're going to want to keep them warm, so put your stove on 200 or so. I don't think mine goes down to 200. I think it just goes to 250. Oh, it does. All right. So 200 is good, because we just want to keep the chicken warm as we're frying that. And we're going to need a plate. Let me grab one. Okay, so we're going to let our butter melt. You may need to add a little bit of olive oil in between the cooking. I mean, I probably can get 2 pieces in this pot comfortably. So, again, you don't want to overcrowd it. You want it to get a nice crust on it, a nice brown crust. So we got our chicken, and just going to lie that down. And then, like I said, what you want to do is you want to get it brown. So Usually, as I'm going to turn it up slightly because I'm going to stand here and watch it. So, of course, and again, we've talked about this before, and I'm sure you've seen it many times. When you're trying to brown meat, you don't want to play with it. Put it in your pan, and it will release when it's got the nice crust that you want. And it's probably going to take 2-3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe, on each side. All right, you can see how our meat is kind of easily slides in the pan. It should have a nice crust on it. And look at that, it does. All right, so that's kind of just how you want it. Be that nice kind of golden brown deliciousness. Put that one, and we'll let that go for 3 or 4 minutes without touching it. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes, okay? Should be nice and golden brown and delicious. Two. All right, so that side's going to need probably another 3 or 4 minutes. And see you then. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys that, what I've been saying is, like you can see this is still a little tight. All right, so that's hasn't quite formed the crust so that it'll release easy. So we're going to give it actually came right undone. There we go, see? So that's nice and brown on that side. And we've got our nice crust on that side. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get the other ones out from the oven. Add those to the plate. And back in to keep them warm. All right, so now I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit, probably to about medium low, because now you'll see all of that nice brown bits in the pan, which is of course some of the flour and the natural juices. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our mushrooms, throw them in our pan, and we want to get those going. So we just want to get to the point of the mushrooms to the point. We're going to sweat them. All right, kind of move them around and all that nice yumminess. And that's probably going to take a couple minutes, especially if you have a big pan in there. Spread out nicely. See, they've already absorbed all of that. And like I said, that'll take about 2 minutes. I just wanted to show you guys I added a little bit more olive oil. Just because the mushrooms have absorbed all of that nice oil. So I added just about a splash more. Alright, that is about right where we want them. Again, they're going to continue to cook with the sauce, so we don't want to cook them thoroughly. Alright, so then the next thing we want to do is throw our garlic in. Now again, if you guys have cooked with me, we don't want the garlic to burn. It's only going to need about a minute, not even a minute, 30 seconds. At the time you can start to smell the garlic. So you can see the mushrooms again with the garlic have given up a little bit of their water. Alright, I can smell the garlic, so that's done. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our chicken stock. And I'm going to turn that back up to medium. And with this chicken stock, we want to get all those little bits off the bottom. And we're going to let this reduce a little bit as we cook it. So I've turned it back up to medium. We'll bring it back up to a simmer. And I'm going to get all of that delicious brown off the bottom of the pan. And I'll come back to you guys when that has come up to a simmer. Okay, that is reduced by about half. Now I didn't need any additional butter when I put the mushrooms in. I used a little bit more of the olive oil, but I'm going to put about 1 more tablespoon of butter in just for the flavor. So we've got that reduced by half. And we're going to put our wine in. So we've got our 3/4 cup of Marsala. And again, we want to reduce that a bit. Now keep in mind, this is a sauce, and like I said before, this isn't a gravy. So it's not going to get really thick like a gravy. It's going to thicken up more at this point once we put the sugar back in, and that little bit more of flour thickens that up. But we're going to let this come back up to a good simmer, and we'll let that reduce a little bit, and I'll show you that when it's done. Okay, we've reduced down by about half again. Alright, and then we add our heavy cream. Get every last bit out of there. And you can see the cream actually even thickened it a little bit. And I'm going to give it a quick taste. I think it's good on salt. Needs a little bit of pepper. So I'm going to give it a pinch. Alright. Now, you can see that is, it's going to thicken up a little bit more once we put the chicken in, but again, it's not a gravy, it's a sauce, a pan sauce. All right, let's get our chicken back in there. And you also want to make sure you put any of the juices that have come out. They're in the plate. This over there. All right, and we're just going to let that sit there and do its thing. I'm going to turn it back down to medium, and just going to let that all heat through, and our sauce will thicken up a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to get my angel hair pasta done, and then it'll finally be time to eat. See you in a bit. Okay, I got my angel hair pasta done. I'm just gonna plate this up and make it look pretty. Or should not plate yet, but all right, and then you want to take your sauce. a little bit over the pasta. And there you have chicken marsala. Let's move it over here. I wish you could smell it. It smells delicious. And we're going to eat. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so with our chicken marsala, I just did a nice little side salad. We got a little bit of Madeira. Salute.
Salute.
Thank you. Okay, dig in. Know what you think?
It's delicious. Everything you make is good anyway.
Oh, thank you. We haven't had pasta in a while because we've been watching calories. And
It's good. It's delicious.
Thank you. Nice moist chicken, and the pan sauce makes a nice addition to it.
And I'm not really a mushroom person, but these mushrooms are pretty good. Adds to the flavor of the dish.
I think those people that don't like mushrooms are maybe because they're used to having it on maybe pizza or something like that, and typically they're canned mushrooms. Fresh mushrooms just taste so much better than canned mushrooms. But I don't, because he doesn't like mushrooms, or not one of his favorite things, I don't cook with them a lot. But delicious.
It is.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching us put this dish together. I hope you make it. I think you'll like it. It's easy, fun to do. Thank you so much for watching.
Please
And
like us and subscribe, and check out cherryhillhomecooking.com.
ciao.
Bye.
Good.
It is good.